from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Jackie Reese-Rodriguez.
And I'm Andrew Swanson. A developing story here on UNL's campus as police are investigating an unusual accident between a scooter and a pedestrian.
Nebraska Nightly was first on the scene. That's our top story tonight. Mall. A crowd was gathered at the scene at the crosswalk of R Street and Centennial Mall around noon, directly south of the Nebraska State Historical Society building and just southeast of the Nebraska Union. Lincoln Fire and Rescue and the Lincoln Police Department responded to the call, shutting down R Street temporarily. LPD tells Nebraska Nightly the initial investigation shows a scooter hit a person crossing the street. Witnesses say one of the victims was unconscious and the other was in a state of shock. When LFD began providing care, both people involved were taken to the hospital. We are still waiting to hear on the severity of the injuries. We have reached out to the Lincoln Police for an update and have not gotten a response. This is a developing story. We will provide updates as we get them.
More police are patrolling near O Street and school zones for the month of May. LPD announced 2 traffic enforcement projects for the month of May. The first puts more LPD officers near schools to target speeding, distracted driving, and failure to yield to pedestrians. LPD says officers will be present during the morning drop-off and afternoon pickup hours at high-traffic schools throughout the city. This project ends May 14th. The second project aims to curb dangerous driving on O Street by increasing traffic enforcement. LPD says this project comes in response to community complaints of excessive speeding, noise violations, and reckless driving.
This weekend, the UNL rodeo team is hosting their Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo at the Sandhills Global Event Center. College rodeo athletes are coming to compete from across the Great Plains region. This includes Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Top contenders may have a chance to represent the region in the College Nationals Final Rodeo. Events of the weekend include team roping, goat tying, breakaway roping, barrel racing, tie-down roping, steer wrestling, bronc riding, and bull riding.
It's really cool in college. Like most of the time, college rodeo is an individual sport. College rodeo is the first time that you kind of competed as a team. And so like you have a women's team and you have a men's team. So like it's really fun that like you can be on a team and everyone pushes each other and just, it's a really cool aspect.
We're now joined by Nebraska Nightly's Mackenzie Noble as she catches up with one of today's contestants before the competition. Mackenzie?
Howdy everyone, I'm here at the Sandhills Global Event Center preparing for the Cornhusker College Rodeo today. Cowgirls and cowboys from all over have come to compete here today. I'm here with Peyton Fisher. She joins me. Thank you for coming on today, Peyton. So, what event are you competing in today?
I am in the barrel racing and breakaway roping.
And how do you prepare for events like this?
It's a lot of just mental, like focusing and then doing what you can to get your horse prepared. So.
And how do you stay mentally and physically ready for events like this?
A lot of visualization and then like practicing your roping on the dummy, make sure that you're in the correct position, just think through your runs.
And what is next for you after this competition today?
Hopefully the short go and then just summer rodeo stuff.
All right, I love it. And how are you feeling going into today's competition?
Excited and I'm ready for it.
Well, thank you, Peyton, for joining us today. Good luck to everyone who's competing, and it starts around 7 p.m. tonight here at Sandhills Global Event Center. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mackenzie. If you are looking for something to do this weekend, check the Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo. College Night is tomorrow, May 2nd. Students can get discount ticket events run from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Finals on May 3rd run from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can get tickets in person or online at sandhillsglobaleventcenter.org.
The U.S. Department of Education plans to pull a grant that provides school-based mental health services. The $7 million competitive grant will no longer continue after December 31st. Lincoln Public Schools received the grant in 2023 to add 18 elementary counselor positions and increase mental health support within the district. Interim Superintendent John Scretta says LPS is not the only school district to learn the grant was discontinued. He says their long-standing goal was to provide a counselor in every school remains the same. LPS does not plan to change the current counseling positions.
The Lincoln Marathon is this Sunday, and UNL City Campus will host the starting and finishing legs of the race. To accommodate the racers, Vine Street, 19th Street, and parts of R Street will be closed on campus from 5:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Sunday morning, highlighted in blue. Stadium Drive and the surrounding lots near Memorial Stadium, where the finish line will be closed from 5:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., highlighted in orange. Lastly, 14th Street from the entrance of the Avery parking garage to Vine Street will be closed from 5:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., highlighted in lime green. The marathon begins at 7 a.m. Expect road closures around Lincoln, especially on 16th Street, 10th Street, and Normal Boulevard.
The Lincoln City election is coming up on May 6th, and on the ballot are several issues left over from the April primary. These include spots for 3 city council members and the election of a future Airport Authority Board of Directors member. Also up for contention is the amending of Title 11, intended to prohibit discrimination in the renting or buying of housing based on income. Finally, there are 4 open seats for Board of Education members in the odd-numbered districts. Don't forget, identification is now required for voting. Coming up, Nebraska State Patrol announces its new superintendent.
And more on Husker Motorsports.
Could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood, but imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Taking a look at our weather, currently the humidity is high with wind gusts reaching up to 20 miles per hour.
There is a small % chance we'll see some showers and storms tonight as winds calm to around 5 miles per hour.
For the coming week, the lows will still be mostly cool as they remain in the 40s to 50s. However, it's clear that May is upon us with highs in the 70s all week long.
There will be some cloudy conditions toward the end, but the majority of the week should have sun shining over Lincoln.
Governor Jim Pillen announced Chief Brian Waugh as the new superintendent for Nebraska State Patrol yesterday. Originally from West Virginia, Waugh has more than 3 decades of experience in law enforcement and served as the police chief in Kearney for the past 6 years. Waugh's experience and ability to interact with federal, state, and local governments helped him be chosen as superintendent. Waugh will assume his duties on June 2nd, taking the role of Colonel John Bolduc, who will retire May 4th.
Husker Motorsports is more than just racing. It's where teamwork, innovation, and hands-on engineering come to life. Nebraska Nightly's Zoe Leggett got an inside look at the Students Club Husker Motorsports prepares for their annual international competition.
Welcome to the shop, home of Husker Motorsports.
Husker Motorsports is an engineering club, or RSO, within the College of Engineering, where every year we design, build, and manufacture a mock Formula One car, about a quarter-scale Formula One car, and then every May we go to Michigan and we compete against other colleges across the country.
As the end of the spring semester rolls around, the team is in the final phase of building the car and preparing for the competition. Every part of the car is critical to performance. Every member From executives and leads to general members work together to build and refine the car. The hands-on experience is one of the goals of the club.
The goal of Formula is to teach engineering students by giving them opportunities to use their skills in real-world applications and get actual experience and apply their knowledge before they enter the workforce.
The team works together to build a car that competes in a variety of events that test and evaluate the car in different conditions. Last year, the team placed 25th overall out of more than 120 teams. Getting to go to competition is the highlight for many members.
My favorite part is going to the competition in May, just being able to compete against all the other teams and see the car be put to its full potential and seeing how we stack up against everybody.
The friendships that are made also make the club special.
My favorite part of this club is just everyone that I've met. Really, sometimes I treat it as a social hour. It's really fun. A lot of my friends are in this club, and just getting to meet everyone and apply what I've learned in school also.
As the team wraps up preparations for Michigan, the work doesn't stop. Racing is just the beginning. It's a culmination of hard work, determination, and a dream. This is Zoe Leggett, Nebraska Nightly.
Next up, a spotlight for the Agricultural Communications Department Media Studio.
And an insight into the economic effects of parking in the Haymarket.
Brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about...
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop. 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. IANR Media is part of UNL's Agriculture Communications Department on the East Campus. Nebraska Nightly's Peyton Pollad takes us to one of UNL's lesser known but highly productive media studios.
At the University of Nebraska Lincoln's Institute of Agricultural and Natural Resources, IANR, is to connect communities to research. Media is crucial in making that happen.
We also are helping them grow their own food, conserve water, and kind of cut back on their pesticide usage. Really proud of the work that we do there, and I think that is a huge benefit to communities all over the state. The show's been on the air for almost 73 years.
Brad Mills has spent decades producing Backyard Farmer and Nebraska Extension Almanac. The Nebraska Extension Almanac has grown a large audience discussing a variety of topics, from beef to crops to forestry.
And it shows. As far as the radio program goes, that in and of itself is basically fulfilling Extension's mission of getting research-based information, unbiased, out to the public.
Across campus, producer Bill Dodd leads the team behind Market Journal, a program helping farmers make business decisions across Nebraska.
So, I get to go out and interview all the people that are way smarter than me, hear about all the research they're doing, ways they're helping impact agriculture in the state.
From television to social media, IANR is working to make sure their stories and the story of Nebraska agriculture are heard.
We've got over 11 million views on our YouTube channel alone. But all of the stuff on Facebook and Twitter or X. We reach our fans in all of those other ways when we're not on television. And I think that's probably going to be the way forward for us to continue our work here.
From producing educational content to supporting the future of ag communication, IANR Media is helping the University of Nebraska-Lincoln connect with communities across the state and beyond. From East Campus, I'm Peyton Pollad, Nebraska Nightly.
You can learn more about Backyard Farmer and Market Journal by visiting their websites or following them on social media.
When you ask people about Lincoln traffic, the answers may vary, but everyone can agree event parking and navigation in the downtown Haymarket area can be confusing at times, especially when the streets run red with Husker fans. Nebraska Nightly's Cal Thompson explains the trade-offs between crazy parking and putting more money in the Lincoln economy.
If you've ever been to a Nebraska football game or a concert at the Pinnacle Bank Arena, chances are you've seen, walked through, or been to a restaurant or shop in the downtown Haymarket area. But with the massive increase of people flooding the streets, how does that affect the business scene?
I mean, obviously we all saw the same news stories that said that rule changing, the not having the spring game was going to be a $6 to $7 million impact on the economy of Lincoln. That tells you what a game day brings in money-wise, influx into Lincoln's economy, and we're no exception to that.
Ballard says the game days always mean new patrons.
Obviously, bringing 90,000 people downtown is a great influx of new customers to us. We see the same people sometimes every single home game day, and that's fun. But then also we see people that come in and say, we've never been here before. It's our first time down to Lincoln. We get all kinds of people from the other team. That's what we like.
With all the traffic already in the downtown area, game days often need a bit more guidance getting everyone through as quickly and as safely as they can. Sergeant Weber of the Lincoln Police Department wears many hats. He is a crime scene investigator, works on the field force unit, and is the football sergeant, meaning he is in charge of arranging traffic direction on home game days.
The extra influx of people in the city of Lincoln during home games or special events obviously makes traffic direction a challenge. This last year, my biggest challenge ended up dealing with all the construction going on downtown. There's a number of new buildings, a number of lane closures that forced us to reevaluate some of our intersections and the way we push people through the town to keep things as efficient as possible.
Regardless, the surge of people flooding the streets is not new. However, there is one surefire way to stay away from the bustling crowds.
If you're worried about downtown traffic on a game day or other special event, I would advise don't go downtown.
Navigating the downtown Haymarket area can be overwhelming for drivers, especially during an event. By planning ahead and with the efforts of the Lincoln Police Department, you can be safe in the Star City's busiest corner. Cal Thompson, Nebraska Nightly.
If you are going to drive downtown on game day, plan an extra 20 minutes into your commute to account for traffic. Also, pay attention to garage capacity and be prepared to listen to directions of Lincoln police officers.
Next up, a preview on the Nebraska women's volleyball team.
And how will Nebraska baseball end their rocky season?
I take back what I said.
Hey, done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
Nebraska Nightly.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Josh Dozler. Nebraska baseball has been having a bit of a rocky season. The team hasn't been able to string together 3 or more consecutive wins since March 23rd. Although things have been up and down, Husker baseball is still rattling off 3 straight wins against Maryland twice and Kansas State. Head coach Will Bolt and player Caden Brumbaugh talk about what the last 2 series of the season mean for the Huskers.
But I mean, we were in the thick of it, and again, we kept getting tested with different things, and the schedule just never let up for us. And we got to go earn it here in the month of May.
Every guy has just been battling and just doing it for the team, and really just having competitive at bats for the guys around you. As you do that, and as you start worrying about the team success and like what the game is giving you and asking you to do, you start to see personal success as well.
Only 2 series against Minnesota and Purdue left, the Huskers are currently sitting in a Big Ten tournament spot but need to keep winning to keep their hopes alive. Shifting our focus to Husker football, while the school year is winding down, Husker football is picking things up. The Huskers gained a commitment from class of 2027 quarterback Trey Taylor. Taylor is currently the 3rd best quarterback and the 35th best player in his class. The 6'3" quarterback is the first recruit of the 2027 cycle for the Huskers. The current high school sophomore said in an interview, while he's excited to finally commit to Nebraska, it is now time to show that he's the best player in his class. Serving things over to volleyball, the Huskers are heading to Ord, Nebraska for their next spring matchup. South Dakota State is making the trek to face Nebraska at Ord High School. The Huskers come into the game after sweeping Kansas 4-0 during the Husker games. While the Huskers swept the Jayhawks, they have to shift their focus to the Jackrabbits. Playing in 6 other games this spring, South Dakota State should be a good matchup to test where the Huskers are at against a team with some more experience. Tickets for the game go on sale at 8 a.m. on Saturday and are $15 a piece with a max of 4. Tickets must be purchased in person with cash, and doors to the match open at 12:30.
So I've heard that apparently, what was it?
Go ahead.
I heard that apparently the softball game that was going on today have a bit of a delay.
Yes, currently both the softball and the baseball games are in weather delays and are in jeopardy of both being postponed to more times, although the softball score is 2-0 in the top of the second currently, guys.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Coming up, a foreigner's perspective of UNL students voicing their opinions.
And Cinco de Mayo events this week in Lincoln.
Grew up decades after World War II. They grew up viewing life in the United States.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back. People in Europe have experienced turmoil for more than a century in the form of wars and other upheavals. Being aware of the world situation is commonplace among everyday people.
As Nebraska Nightly's Maya Tate and her peers learned from 2 German exchange students, young Americans generally lack curiosity about world politics.
Yetta Minks and Clara Dunkler grew up decades after World War II. They grew up viewing life in the United States as the American dream. But with the new U.S. government, they were unsure about what they were going to see. Dunkler and Minks were a part of a 3-week program through Rias, Berlin, which brought them to Washington, D.C. for a week before making their way to Lincoln. Coming to Nebraska, they were unsure what life was like for UNL students. They flew in on what they remember as a dreary Sunday at the end of spring break, while there was little to no life around campus. As they sat outside the University of Nebraska Student Union on one of their first days in Lincoln, they reflected on how different the culture was on the Midwestern American campus.
When you're on campus, you have your social life there. Everything, just is about classes and going there, and you're kind of in your own little world.
As they explored Nebraska, they made a list of activities that emulated what they thought the true Nebraskan experience was. From spending time at the state capitol to going to the rodeo and even seeing buffalo at Pioneers Park, they got to experience what makes Nebraska unique. But the constant undertone of their conversations throughout their trip revolved around the topic of politics in America from the worldwide perspective.
It stood out that people were aware kind of what is going on in the country, and they know that it is concerning, but still they don't act.
In Europe, global politics is a daily discussion.
I feel like students here are interested in politics, but not as much as we do in Germany. I feel like especially at German universities, they're known for having a lot of political people. We tend to demonstrate quite often, and we're just kind of aware of it. And you're kind of aware of it, but I feel like American students can do more about what's going on in your country.
During my time with Clara and Yetta, almost every conversation came back to American politics.
It asked me why students weren't using their voice more, and reminded me the U.S. isn't just some reclusive nation, but what happens here affects the globe. They urged my friends and I to take a stand against injustices here, like they wish their forefathers had done 90 years ago. Maya Tate, Nebraska Nightly.
The fiesta begins this weekend in Lincoln as Cinco de Mayo festivities kick off.
On campus, enjoy Mexican cuisine at East Campus Dining from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join the Cinco de Mayo poker run tomorrow, May 3rd. Sign up between 10 a.m. and noon at Frontier HD with stops at Hunter's Lounge, Sit and Bowl, Twisted Wrench, and ending at my bar.
Also tomorrow is the Street Festival at Tipsy Tina's. Enjoy food, drinks, giveaways, and other events at 1 p.m. The improving weather in Lincoln should be a great prelude to finals week and summer break.
Let's take one last look at our weekend forecast.
This coming weekend is looking like a ray of sunshine with clear conditions and highs in the 70s.
The lows will mostly be in the 40s, reaching 50 on Monday. Thank you for joining us on Nebraska Nightly.
Be sure to follow us on X and Instagram at Nebraska Nightly.
The semester is drawing to a close and we only have one live show remaining.
Join us Monday afternoon for the Sports Update Show and then Tuesday at 4:30 for our final newscast of the spring semester.
Have a great evening and a great weekend.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.